What is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders and closet swing traders? Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. Let's see if I get some trading view on the screen. Hope you guys are doing well, surviving the beginning of the recession. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see, but we do have a little bit of a gap down in the markets. We'll cover that as you guys are piling into the room. We got Albert with us. Good morning. We got Bill, Brandon, David, Fayaz. We got Jenny in the house. Greg K. We got Gregory Hill, Jason P. King. Good morning to Jay, Joe, Joel. We got Jose. Matt R, of course, is with us. We got Ron. Good morning. Tanya. Good morning. We got the squadron. Fayaz says 4 trillion worth of options expiring today. 1,000% correct. Should be a wild one. I do expect some volatility today. All my people in YouTube land, good morning. Hope you guys are doing terrific. I hope you guys are doing better than the SPY. Hope you guys are doing better than the Qs this morning. Hope you guys are feeling good, but let's get to it. So let's throw it on the daily chart first for the SPY. And we have obviously a little bit of a gap down, some ways to go. We're not quite at support yet, so we could actually drop a little bit further. I'd probably be looking for, well, again, here's the ideal situation, and then the market will just do whatever it wants anyway. But ideal situation, I would actually like to see it drop a little further, pre-market, hopefully, but down to this 382.46 level. We can get any type of bounce off of that. We do have a retest gap. So it is a pretty impressive gap. So keep in mind, here is two, what was that little pen thing? All right, so we have this one candle right here with huge bullish volume. That one, we started getting closes. That's the, I think the Jerome Powell speech from, what was it, last week, 2 weeks ago, something like that. All of that is being taken out. We've already broken that. We've closed. We opened yesterday below it already. We closed below it. And now we're trapping anybody else from the original CPI. Those guys are now being all trapped too. So even though this is a retest gap, it is pretty impressive. Pretty impressive gap to just be trapping all those people. However, technically it is a retest gap. We also have, again, a little bit of level of support, probably somewhere right around here. And then we have a few VPOCs, or actually really just one VPOC left that hasn't really been retested. So if this market is going to get saved and somehow we survive this year without making new lows for the year, I think we'd have to really start getting some kind of a bounce. Maybe at 378.43 would be the last straw. I don't know if we hit that today. Like I said, I think we probably at some point come down. 382.20 would be the spot I'm looking for. Maybe a little bit of support. Then anybody that shorted, obviously 1, 2, 3, that hopped in anywhere on shorts, looking to cover, looking to lock a little bit of profit. But we will see. We will see what happens on that. Otherwise, it is a pretty nasty gap down. Just the fact that we're clearing all that volume, not a good look if you are a bull. So I think Hector, I don't know if Hector's in the house. Where is Hector? Oh, no. Is he not here today? He's dry cleaning the bear suit. All right. Good morning, Alexa in YouTube lands. All right. The Qs. A little bit of a gap down, not as dramatic as the SPY. So we actually have the SPY moving a little bit deeper, a little bit weaker than the Q. So is tech going to hold us up, or is tech lagging today? That's going to be the question. And 275.40. We got to it yesterday. We bounced where we had to. If this starts to break, the next level down. So as we saw in the SPY, we're already gapping below this candle. This one, we're still in it, barely. We're still technically opening below the opening range of that candle, but we're not out of it like we are on the SPY. This one, we probably get some kind of continuation. I would love to see a very short bullish pop, something like that, somewhere on the Qs, somewhere on tech, and then we start to come down to be able to retest. Looking at like 269.76. The next level after that would be 266. There's a ways to go. Qs should be dropping faster. Yeah, Meta. Look at Meta pre-market. That one looks like it has a bull market. I forget what it is. I think is it PMI today? Where's Emily? We get 15 minutes after the market opens. We do get some more key data. Yep. So 9:45 is PMI coming out. Be careful. try to work those stops within the first 15 minutes if you're taking something out of the gate. If you're taking something out of the gate, you most likely want to be able to be in and out very, very quickly. Take a quick little sniper play, something like that. But yeah, 9:45, we got PMI coming out, which again could affect the markets. Honestly, I don't think Jerome Powell cares about inflation anymore. I'm gonna make that statement. I don't think he cares about inflation anymore, realistically. He's more concerned about jobs and how much he could raise rates. Doesn't care if he's overdoing it. None of that really matters. So we will see, but we do have a nice gap and go on Meta, like Alex pointed out. I don't know if there was news on it though. 32 minutes ago. Adobe had earnings yesterday, which I think they came in line with the earnings. But yeah, Meta, we do have a little bit of a gap up. Oh, Meta got an upgrade. Okay. I still think you're in some kind of a range that probably 119.93 is going to be your first stop or first spot. I would probably look to take some kind of profit, and then maybe we could see some kind of higher level. You are trapping people, but not a huge amount of volume yesterday. We're still well above that little doji, which is the highest volume that they had. That came in from their last earnings. We're definitely still well above it. We didn't, we didn't really close the gap. The gap would be close to 129.71 before we actually close that gap. So if we could break out of the last or the highest VPOC, we do have relatively open space for a little bit higher. Otherwise, besides that, you're still in this range, even though there's a gap and go. But out of everything, if you're going to take if you're a gap and go player, that would be the way to go. ORCL. Oracle. This one would be a little bit of a retest. I would expect. I would expect, and I would want a green candle, and then look to take a break. Again, you do have a little bit of. You have two things going against you on the short on this one. One being that you have this little level of support. So this is going to be 78.86, I would say, for a small little target. Once it starts breaking out a little bit lower than that, somewhere around, once it starts breaking the 78.56 zone, you should have a wide open drop. This would look like a double top. That looks like a nice little bull trap, and then you fade lower. But for today, could this get held up? That would be number one. You do have a little bit of support. I still don't mind taking the short. I would love to see a little bit of a bounce first, even into maybe 79.96 would be a relatively ideal spot for that short. And then look for some kind of continuation down. But again, you're going to have to get through that spot. And then two, out of everything, the Qs are still a little bit stronger today. So we do have the Qs not as weak. And if the Qs want to catch up, then Oracle, I think, drops and we go down pretty hard. Oh yeah. I just got news alert. News alert. That's my song for the breaking news. For anybody that is not familiar, we do have this guy. I don't know if you guys ever heard of him, Jeremy Newsom. He's a pretty cool guy. Kind of like him. But he is doing the back trade, the ultra marathon, to raise money. I think he said yesterday in the afternoon room, or when he was on the mic, I think he said the last time he did it was for 12 hours straight. We'll see. We'll see. Greg says he's vaguely familiar. Yeah, he's a kind of okay guy. He was Jeebus. He was Jeebus at one point with the beard, but the beard's gone now. So this is the link I just threw into the chat panel. But we do raise money. It is going to raise money for 3 different schools to build out 3 schools, like not 1, not 2, 3. So if anybody wants to, number 1, hang out with Jeremy Newsom as he back trades for, as I would say, not as long as humanly possible, because obviously he's probably built in a lab. But you could, number 1, see different setups he takes, why he takes it. He'll explain. He'll go through his type of setups. So good educational, make everybody, help everybody increase their game in terms of what they look for, how quickly they look for it in the market, why they're looking for it, and just seeing the patterns over and over and over and over again. That's what makes a good trader. So 1, you get something out of it. 2, if you could donate anything during it at any point, it is greatly appreciated by everybody here at Real Life Trading, myself, Jeremy, Sochi, who's putting on the program as far as she takes care of all the fundraising, all of that stuff. And I would assume every single person that will be attending the 3 schools will be quite thrilled for your generosity. So again, I did post a link. You guys are able to, are donations tax deductible? I'm not your accountant. Don't yell at me. But yes, I believe so. I do believe so. Again, not your CPA. Probably, I don't know what country people are from, and that would definitely affect tax laws. However, I believe myself in PA, I'm pretty sure. Sochi says, yes, we are a 501c. So if anybody knows what that means, I believe that means nonprofit organization for the fund, I believe. So I don't know. Don't take my word for it. But I know for myself in PA, just speaking for myself, it would be tax deductible. So use that as a guideline. Sochi says we are a legit nonprofit recognized by IRS. So there you go. There you go. All right, let's get back to it. The Tessie. Greg Hill says, at Sochi, count me in. First of all, yeah, before we get to Tesla and the Twitter files, if you guys are going to attend the back trading, type a quick 1 in the chat pane. Let me know who's going to be there. I'm going to be swinging into for sure. I'll be checking now. We got Alex, George, Greg Hill, David. Daniel says, can you please drop that link into YouTube as well? Maybe. Let me try it right now. Got it. So I just sent it. Sometimes my messages on YouTube, when I type it, it doesn't go through. Let me know if you got that, Daniel. But I did throw that into the YouTube chat pane as well. So that is there and available for you guys. All right, Tesla. Strongest stock in the world. So nobody in the last 3 months. But today, not looking horrible. Yesterday, didn't look horrible, but it was technically a retest gap. Right? So we did gap down yesterday. And yeah, we rose out of the gate. And I was like, okay, good. I was looking for that retest. Erica says, don't see the link. Sochi, are you able to post a link into YouTube by any chance? Or if anybody else is available to do so? For some reason, when I host YouTube, it doesn't let me throw my own message out into the chat pane. I haven't figured that part out. Here's a YouTube link. If you guys want to just copy and paste, if anybody can do that, that'd be great. That is the link. And if you guys just copy and paste that into there, that'd be terrific. I'll greatly appreciate it. All right. So we got Tesla. So now this would be right now inside day candle. Not going to be able to 10 EMA it right out of the gate, but I would love to see a little bit of a pullback at open on this one. Maybe down to, I would like to see a little pullback for like 157.75. We do have the 10 EMA pretty far away still. So we could look for some kind of a bounce. I would think at some point we get a retest into 169.55. That would be pushing into this little VPOC. That would also be that 10 EMA right there as well. There you go. Sochi came through. She got a message in YouTube land. BEA, beautiful. All right. So that would be the Tesla. Probably not a lot of action out of the gate on that one, but maybe after that first 15 minutes, because there should be some there should be some volatility in general today, just because of the markets closing with trillions and trillions of dollars of options closing. But two, that PMI is going to help aid that and push it along as well. Erica says thanks. All right, cool. So that made it through. Yeah, I don't know. YouTube's weird for me. They block my own messages, rightfully so. A and B still has a ways to drop. Again, this would be a retest gap at open. This would qualify at open. Unfortunately, I don't think I could go short at open. That would be my only issue, because it is technically a retest gap. So I'd have to wait still for my own personal preference. I would have to wait a little bit. And let me just see one more thing as far as the fibs. Where can we come in with on these fibs? We're sitting right at that 50%. So here's the 50. This line right here, this is somewhere, it's not to the penny, but 63, we'll call it 63.90. That would be a 618. We have a VPOC over here, somewhere at the $64 level. We technically did close below the 50. That means that the 618 is in play. So I would be looking for targets probably into this VPOC, 64.15. Again, I would love to see a little bit of a retest first, and then we bounce from there. Or we drop from there, maybe get some continuation. Again, maybe PMI comes out, maybe the markets care. Maybe the markets are going to care more than I think. And to some extent, I mean, obviously it's going to play into the day, but obviously I think I almost think that anything inflation-wise report doesn't matter as much even than the jobs, right? We had the jobless numbers yesterday. I think that helped move the markets. And I think we're still leaning off of the Jerome Powell and FOMC meeting notes. The fact that they legitimately said, probably easing on the rate hikes doesn't make sense. We don't really care about overdoing it. I think that's going to lean on the market a little bit more than some things, but PMI, we should see some kind of move 15 minutes into the market. We'll see though. All right, and then you got Apple just clinging on for dear life. Quad option expiration will make this market even more choppy. It will, yeah. I don't know though. The last few times, like I would say 3 years ago, I think it's, I don't know, quad witching during COVID. I'm trying to think back. I think it started to change a little bit, oddly enough. Pre-COVID though, it was all day. Like it was crazy all day. Now, recently, at least I think I've seen like the first maybe 15 minutes gets crazy, first 15, 20 minutes. And then the end of the day gets nuts. Like the last 10, 15 minutes of the day gets nuts. And then everything in between is a little bit of chop fest, oddly enough. So we can definitely make plays. But the other key thing that just during trading hours, the PMI during the first 15 minutes after the bell, that's going to be something that we're going to want to watch. Position yourself. Don't position yourself. Sit on your hands for the 15 minutes, whatever it takes. And then try to go for the bunt, not the home run. And just get on base. That's it. Just get on base. All right. But yeah, Apple's kind of just hanging in there to no man's land. Delta's pretty similar. So we are gapping down a penny. Nothing too crazy. We are at a very, very strong support right now. And we get saved, still technically in this big old bearish engulfing candle, which is not good after a double top. And that candle was also a retest into that reverse little hammer. It still kind of looks weak, but we're hanging in there. Who's on first? What's on second? for you get on first base enough, you play in the majors. Think about that. It's crazy. What was that, Moneyball? It's like, doesn't matter if he has a good hitting record. He walks enough. All he does is he's like, the guy walks enough. He gets on base. That's all we need. We get more percentage-wise of people on the base. Eventually, someone's going to score. All right. Pretty weak opening actually for Amazon. So again, I would expect a little bit of a retest. Would love to see probably rejection 88.18 to take it down south. Probably looking for 86.68. And then if that breaks on the Zon, I don't know, $70. Maybe not today, but I kind of have a $70 price target on Amazon. So we're making progress. We're getting down there. All right, let me delete some of these lines. Nvidia. What do we got? 8 more minutes, plenty of time. All right, so Nvidia, again, inside candle. I'm not gonna have access to that one out of the gate, and I would be looking for. I would love to see a little bit of a bounce really into this 169.09 zone. If we could hit that, get rejected, fade from there, that would look fantastic for me. We had PayPal, which just had a horrific day yesterday. Let's have a moment of silence for PayPal. That's enough. That's enough. This one technically should be a retest gap, so wait for a little bit of a retest. We are still at kind of a level of support. We did get the big major bounce here before, but we closed below that VPOC. That to me is not really the sign of strength. Matt R says now go buy some SQ. I wouldn't either. Yeah. I don't think I would do that either. For me, I actually do like PayPal better, just fundamentally speaking, but both of them have to come down a lot more for me to get into a position. So right now, though, Square does look a little bit healthier. Again, this is going to be it should be a retest gap. This dotted line is the much higher volume area. That's somewhere around the 62, 69 zone. So you have decent support, 62, 69, and then you're looking at maybe 65.95. So again, probably I would be looking to go short as high as possible, which to me would be around that 65.95 zone, and then probably take a little partial at 62, 69. See if you can break. You do have a whole bunch of different VPOCs holding you up in that zone too. So be careful with Square. Square looks like it at least has a little bit stronger support. Matt says I like Square. Yeah, I don't know. One's just personal. I just don't like. They don't have. I feel like Square doesn't have good merchant protection on credit cards. On the swipey things. Like I've had if you are a customer and for whatever reason it doesn't really matter, you go, yeah, no, I want a refund. You call up Square, you follow your thing. And almost always, no matter what the situation is, the merchant on Square loses, and they're like, okay, refund. They look out more for the customer than they do the merchant, but they make the money off the merchant. It's very strange. So I don't like it for that reason. I think it's a little shade fest. But two, just even on valuation, I still think PayPal is just much bigger, much larger. If I could get a good price on it, that's what I'm waiting for. But I will eventually own some PayPal shares. I might own a few Square too, just in case, but really, I mean, it will be a very small comparison. Plus, Elon started it. Yeah, They lost one of their big deals. I think who was that to, like Amazon or something, but they'll be fine. Everywhere you go, there's still PayPal all over the place. Like it's not. I'm not too concerned long term with PayPal. I think they're gonna be okay. But yeah, then you have the Elon factor. Like, does Elon want any of his businesses really to go under? The problem is it better not go under now because you don't have $44 billion to bail it out. He just spent that. So we'll have to see. Like, how many more Tesla shares can you sell? For him, a lot. Twitter will become the new PayPal in 10 years. Yeah, probably, but they're only going to take the Doge. So be careful of that. First Solar actually has a bearish gap and go as well, just not gapping out of the entire day. GEO down very slightly, 5 pennies. Pins, yeah, that was a interesting gap we had yesterday. Very interesting close. Still closed with the inside that candle, and now we're gapping down a little bit further. The only thing again that will support this thing is this imaginary line that I drew on my screen. So if you believe my imaginary line, which we did get a bounce off of, then we could be in maybe a little bit of a bounce zone. Otherwise, if you don't believe that line, or you think we get into that line, we have a huge gap fill that could get filled that takes us to about 23.65. So there could be some money on pins. Again, if we get some, today might be the day though where a lot of things just don't really make that much sense because it's more of the options moving the market than anything else. And PMI 15 minutes in. Don't forget that. All right, so we have wow, Coinbase not so good. Down to 37.14 pre-market. Again, this is a new 52-week low. Typically, once things hit 52-week lows, they go lower. So just be careful. Don't try to catch a knife and just ride the trend. But that looks like not any resistance possible. I cannot look at a level and say this is a spot it should bounce because why would it? I don't know. It's going to need something to save it. We also have, wow, they were just in that gap. UAL, United Airlines. Now gapping up a penny. 2 seconds before is a little bit below, and they do have a gap to fill as well. So we'll see what happens there. JP Morgan, JPM, Morgan. This is 128.80. That's a pretty decent gap down as well, clearing a bunch of VPOCs. So this one on JP Morgan, I'll be watching for like this 129.75 zone. See if we come in for that retest, which is a retest into those VPOCs, two different levels there. Should make a pretty strong resistance. And then you can probably short this thing down to about 127.96. How much time we got left? We got 2 more minutes till the bell. Yay. Snowflake, nothing crazy there. Probably again, same thing with the rest of the market. And then we got BABA. Can we say dramatic yesterday? So if you think, I mean, we did have almost a little bit of a breakdown, but that is a massive bearish engulfing candle, really closing very, very weak. We're gapping up about almost 50% retest. That might be a decent area to take some kind of short risk to reward wise. Your stop is going to be somewhere at this 95.29 zone. See if we get some kind of a breakdown. I mean, we have levels down here, 76.04. Probably we even have lower 71.86. So if you think BABA and the Chinese names are going to nosedive again, this would probably be a decent spot, at least in terms of risk reward, to be able to take those plays. But unfortunately, we only got like 30 more seconds left until this opening bell. Keep in mind, key events today. We got PMI coming out 15 minutes after the ding, ding, ding sound. So make sure you guys are aware of that. Make sure you guys are in the positions you want to be or not in any positions if that is a better, safer, and that play follows your plan. So just keep that in mind. Otherwise, you guys are incredible. That sound of the bell is the sound that I got to disconnect, but make sure 2 things. Definitely check out that back trading marathon with my boy Jeremy Newsom. Is going to be crazy. And also on the way out, hit the like button. This is also for all my friends on YouTube land. This is our last day for the year for real life trading. We do have the next 2 weeks off. So we will not be back. If you're looking for us, we promise we didn't block you. It's just that we're not open. That's it. But everybody else, we will catch you guys in the new year. Be safe, be easy, spend some time with your family, friends, loved ones. And if you're bored, we have online courses fully free. You guys are able to take advantage of. That is beginner, intermediate, and advanced courses. Otherwise, you guys are incredible.